It's week 2 of the National Football League, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Dolphins and the Browns. All that and more coming up next.
Now from the banks of Lake Erie, EA Sports welcomes you to Huntington Bank Field here in downtown Cleveland. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins. They were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
Every quarterback in the NFL has a little bit of his own signature style out there, but for this guy, he really plays the game in a different way. It's led to a couple double takes from us up here as we see him as something truly unique. It's not that he's just the strongest passer or the best athlete to ever play the position. He just has a certain way of seeing the action, and it allows him to make some special plays out there.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Complete to Washington. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
On the ground, this is Devon Achane. Still on his feet, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devon Achane, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. And that CD, one heck of a run. He just refused to go down.
And that's where determination comes in, because he had at least a couple of guys had really good shots at him, but he just said, I don't think so. Speed, power, elusiveness, all on display right there. Look like you, partner, back in your salad days in Evansville.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Browns under head coach Kevin Stefanski. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And when you watch Kenny Pickett play, you see a young man who got better every season in college and really blossomed in his final campaign, took his game to a new level, and made him a first-round pick in the NFL. He's the type of kid who can beat you with his mind, beat you with his arm, and occasionally with his legs. A tough, skilled performer. Kenny Pickett, he's got some moxie to him.
A big pickup of 38.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability, and that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 39-yard line. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Here's Pickett. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Makes it 3rd and 4.
Pickett will look to throw it here. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
And this one is right down the middle. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. The end result, 21 yards. A give, running right, Achane. 46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Well, this defense for the Browns, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
This one thrown underneath to Achane. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll run for it with Achane. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now Tua going to fake the jet sweep and the handoff as he'll drop to throw it. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Throw caught by Achane. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. In motion, Hill. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. So not only do you not get the 1st down, but you've also made things a lot more difficult on your field goal kicker.
Yeah, they're still in range, but you're exactly right because you know the kicker's over there saying, thanks a lot, you just made my job a little tougher because when he kicks it now, he'll kick it lower because he's got to get more distance. That means there's more jeopardy for the ball to get tipped or blocked.
Sanders' kick is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Up the middle, it's Williams. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. You talk about this Miami defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do...
Pickett lost it, and this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Sanders on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They will start this drive with Ford. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Pickett, he'll look to throw it. To the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And the Dolphins will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. After the turnover, it's Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. In motion, the tight end. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Excellent work that time to get free, and for his exploits, he's going to be left with just a 3rd and 3. Now Tua. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
And the Dolphins first down.
In motion is Washington. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. Down to the 42, second down. We can look at this Browns defense. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter. Here's 2nd and 10 as they've got it as we resume action. In motion, Hill. On play action, here's Tua. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 13-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Dolphins have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2. And they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Cleveland offense making their way out. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. They give it to Williams, running right. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Again, it's Williams. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
7 yards there and a first down. A give to Williams, running right. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That good for 19 and a first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. Two tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Now Pickett will look to pass it. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
Here we go, sack.
Now Pickett. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. Boy, plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And he'll have a Dolphins first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Tua going to throw. Washington's got it. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. The Dolphins on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Tua. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And able to get this out to the 25. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Breaks the tackle, now an alley. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. This is Ford. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Looking to throw, Pickett. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. Here's Corey Bojorquez now. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense and running back Devon Achane making their way back out. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
A great job defensively taking away his receivers, and he was forced to put that one into Lake Erie, but that's what good quarterbacks do. They don't take unnecessary chances if they don't have to.
The tight end in motion right. On 3rd down, Achane. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Pickett. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Pickett now from the gun here. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. From the gun, here's Pickett. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 17-yard line. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Njoku. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Pickett back to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. And his kick is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, where you see the final score there. J.J. McCarthy, 2 touchdown passes as his guys make amends for the setback in Week 1. From there, let's head to AT&T Stadium as we check out the Cowboys at home in Dallas. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Dak Prescott, 3 touchdown passes as his guys moved to 2-0 on the young season. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And things didn't work out for them as they fall to the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. 16-13, your final score. It was Devon Achane who's had the strong first half. He accounted for 3 touchdowns overall, 1 on the ground and 2 in the passing game, as his all-around skills were on display in those first 2 quarters. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Browns offense had Kenny Pickett headed back onto the field. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Back to throw, Pickett. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And you start to think if it's going to happen for these guys, it's got to start with this drive. Down 3 scores, they need to start making some inroads. And that'll help the cause there as they pick up good yardage and a first down.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football, averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
A big play that time for Cleveland. 41 yards.
I don't care what level of football you played. This one was a universal, wasn't it? When we were kids and we played touch football, remember we get in these positions and you just say, everybody go along and hope someone would come free.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. They run with Ford. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, Pickett. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Pickett. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Touchdown, Browns. Cedric Tillman, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Browns are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get.
Pickett lost it. And this is picked up by the Dolphins.
Well, that 2-point attempt failed due to the fumble. But people that can't see this, but you've got a ball in your hands now, and you've got the thing locked in pretty well. You've got it covered up.
I love having a football in the booth. I always hang on to it. Makes me feel like I actually played back in my day.
Well, you probably could have. If you had run that play, you would not have fumbled. I can tell you that.
Maybe. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Dolphins offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a